Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back. I'm back with another video. So in today's video we'll be going through what are VLANs and we'll be configuring a simple VLAN network. So I've created this topology here in advance. So it's the way it works is the base network for this topology is 192.168. But before that, let's get into what a VLAN actually is. So think of a VLAN like different departments in the same office building. So everyone uses the same building, the same cabling and wiring, but each department is kept separate. A VLAN or virtual local area network does the same thing on a switch by logically separating devices into different networks. So in this video, I'll show you how to configure VLANs and control communication between them. So let's get into this. So over here we have all of these PCs on two different switches. So think of this as the first floor and think of this as the second floor. So they're all on the same network. As you can see, my base network is 192.168.1.0, and I've made these hosts .1, .2, .3, .4, .5, .6, and up to .8. And as you know, in this network, everything can communicate with everything. So if we try to ping from PC2 here to any other PC on the same switch or on the other switch, they should be able to communicate. So ping 192.168.1.7 over here, which is PC7, we would get reply. And even on the same switch, as you would know, if we ping .3 over here, we'll get a reply. So everything's on the same network, they can communicate, and they're on the same broadcast domain as well. So the network is flooded. So what we want to do is use VLANs to segment our network and have two VLANs. So we're going to have two VLANs, the VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So I've labeled them already. So I want PC1 over here, PC3, PC6 and PC8 to be VLAN 10, which is the HR department, and PCs 2, 4, 5, and 7 to be the sales department of our company here and building here. So then what we're going to see, even on the same floor and on the same switch, PC1 would not be able to communicate with PC2 because it will be on a different VLAN. How are we going to do this? Get into this now. So the first step, what we do is go into our switch over here. So once you're configuring VLANs, you need to go into your switch. And the way to configure VLAN is configuring the port of the switch. So we want the ports, any device connected to a certain port of the switch or the certain interface of the switch would be on a VLAN. So we'll have this. So first thing we'll do is come over here and go to enable. Then we'll go to configuration mode, conf T. First, let's change our name of our host name. We'll call it SW1 of our switch. So we change the name, so you can see here the name is changed, and I'll change it over here as well. So I'll name it SW1, and here we want to name this one SW2. SW2. So once we change our name, and then while we're in config mode, we will name our first VLAN. So the VLAN, we'll name VLAN 10, name it HR, then VLAN 20, name sales. So once we do that, now our VLANs are named, and we'll let the switch know these are the VLANs that we want. We'll assign the ports to each VLAN. So we first, over here, this is the important thing of having labels. So I've labeled this myself. I can easily move it around. If you use the tags that are on the preferences here, it kind of gets mixed up, and it's the labels, it gets annoying and you can't see properly sometimes, and it's a bit messy. But this one, you've got the access to move it around as much as you want. So that's what I do, but you can do whatever you like, whatever you prefer. So I've named that these are the other interfaces. So what we do, first we want to configure FA02 and 04 here for the VLAN. Oh, we'll go in order. 0, 2, 0, 3. Each one will be on its VLAN. So we'll come here and we'll go to int for interface F0/2. Once we're in there, then we'll go to switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN. The first one, so this interface, this one will be VLAN 10. Then now the next one is you just hit the up arrow and then change the interface. Then because we've already done these commands, the up arrow, so it's switch port mode access and switch port mode VLAN 20 for the FA03 interface. Then again, the up arrow makes it easy because we've already hit these commands. So the next interface, then we'll switch port mode access, switch port mode VLAN 10, FA04 VLAN 10, and over here the last one will be FA05, which should be VLAN 20. Right, VLAN 20. So as you can see here, this one's 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20. So when we've done that, one command that you can use is a show VLAN brief command to show you all the VLANs on your switch. And you can do this from anywhere by using the do command. So do show VLAN BR for short. So when we come over here, one thing you'll know, every Cisco switch or most switches have something called a native VLAN. So what the native VLAN is a VLAN that's already built and ready, and all the switches, all the ports are already assigned to this native VLAN. So it's called VLAN 1. So as you can see here, the VLAN name, the default native VLAN is VLAN 1. All ports are already on VLAN 1, but the ones that we changed, which we made VLAN 10 and VLAN 20, as you can see, the HR active are FA02 and FA04. So FA02 and FA04. And what we assigned the VLAN the 20, FA03 and 05. So 03 here and 05 here. But the rest are still on. So later on, you can make more VLANs or you can assign more of these interfaces to these VLANs if you want by adding more endpoint devices. But for now, we'll keep it like that. So the same thing on this other switch, we'll come over here to the CLI, continue, enable. Then we'll go to conf T for configuration mode, conf T. Then we'll change our host name. So host name SW2. Once we change our host name, then we'll go to the interface mode. So interface, now the first interface we want to change will be FA02 again. So F0/2. Then we'll go to switch port mode access, or you can put AC as short. Then switch port access VLAN. What VLAN do we want this one to be on? 20. So 20. Then, oh, this time what we've done is before, if you remember, if you go back over here, we named the VLANs before. And when we created them, it added the port to the VLAN. But here, because I didn't name the VLAN, it's showing me and it does not exist, but it created VLAN 25 for me automatically. So it will do the same thing for VLAN 10. So you can do it both ways. You can name it beforehand or go through the commands and it will create it for you if it's not already created. So then we'll go to interface 0/3 and then go to switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10. Same thing again, it wasn't created, it didn't exist before, so it created it for me. Now it should already exist, so that we shouldn't get that message now. So FA04, we want this one to be a switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. We want 04 to be on. Now we're not, you see, we're not getting that message now because it's already created. And FA05 over here, the last computer, which is PC8 VLAN 10. So once we do, then we can again do our show VLAN brief to see the VLAN. So you can see here 03 and 05 on VLAN 10 and 02 and 04 0, 03 and 05 and 02 and 04 on VLAN 20. So here we have the first steps of creating our VLANs now. So our VLANs are created now. So what we need to do now is test. So if we want to see this visually, what we basically done is, if you come over here and use the colors, that's fine. This PC is on VLAN 10. Where's my colors? Let me just go. This PC is VLAN 10. This PC is VLAN 10. So all these PCs would be able to connect. And this one's VLAN 10. And this one is VLAN 10. So all the blues are VLAN 10. If we come over here and make the others yellow, this one will be VLAN 20, VLAN 20, so VLAN 20 and VLAN 20 over here. So let's come out of here. So now, as you can see, this is the first floor. Visualize this as the first floor, and this one is the second floor. So these PCs, think of this as the junior HR staff here on the first floor. Then you have the senior HR staff on the second floor. To save resources and to save not buying another switch and more hardware and stuff, everyone on the first floor is using the same switch. But what we've done is segregated the network by assigning ports to different VLANs. So now if we do our tests, PC1 over here would not be able to, even though they're on the same PC, they're not going to be able to connect to PC2 or PC4, but they will be able to connect with each other still. So let's try it over here. Come over here and go ping 192.168.1.3. Let's try ping our fellow VLAN 10 PC. So as you can see, it's pinging and getting replies. So let's try and ping now VLAN 20 PC, which we assigned to PC2. We should have a request timed out and not get a thing, no replies. So that means it's not working. So let's try these other PCs. So sorry, PC4 should be able to communicate with PC2. So 192.168.1.2. So even though they're on the same network, they're not able to communicate anymore. So 1.1, it shouldn't be able to communicate with PC1. We wait here, as you can see, request timed out. We're not getting anything, and so they're all on the same network and not connecting. So what we now the next step would be testing if we can now connect with our senior staff over here, which is on the same VLAN on the VLAN 10. So we'll come over to PC1 over here, go to PC1 and ping. Let's see if we can connect with the other PC on the other switch on second floor, which is the same network, same VLAN. Ping 192.168.1.6. Okay, I'm trying to ping this one. Let's see. Interesting. Request timed out. Okay, it's not working. Let's Control C. Let's try to ping the other PC. .8. Wait for it. No, it's not working. But obviously they can, and as we tested over here on this switch, these that are on the same network can communicate with each other. So if you go to 192.168.1. The other PC, VLAN 20 PC on this switch should be able to communicate, and these two would be able to communicate. So why are these two not communicating? this is where we need to do something called trunking. So we need to configure the trunk port on the switch to enable the VLANs to go across switches. So how do we do this? We do this by configuring this port over here, which is FA01 and FA01. So the port connecting the two switches as a trunk port. So how do we do this? We get into here, over here, and go into the switch, and then in config mode, get out this. If you go to interface F0 slash, what interface is that? 1 slash 1. Then we go to switch port mode trunk. That's what we need. So as you can see, the switch port mode is trunk now, and we'll do the same thing over on this switch. So int F, same 0/1, switch port mode trunk, and as you can see now that's up. So now by making these two trunk ports, this would enable our VLAN communication to go over the switch and connect to our second floor PCs here, and only VLAN 10 should be able to connect to VLAN 10, and VLAN 20 should be able to communicate with VLAN 20. So let's try that. So if we come back into VLAN PC2 over here, so we want to try and communicate with this one, which wasn't working before. So ping 192.168.1.5. Now as you can see, we're getting replies now. And then we can try and have our VLAN 10 PC ping another VLAN 10 PC on the second floor. So ping 192.168.1. What do we want? 6 here. 6. As you can see. Okay, so now let's for an example's sake, let's try and ping from this PC3, which is on VLAN 10. Try and ping the second floor PC, which is on VLAN 20. See if we can communicate with our friend 192, even though they're on the same network, and VLAN 20, which is .5 over here, and we shouldn't be able to because it's on a separate VLAN. So this is how you create VLANs and segment and segregate your network. So thank you guys for watching another video. Please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments any other videos that you, and any other packet tracer tutorials that you want me to cover, and I'll be happy to oblige. And I'll be back with another video next week, continuing on our packet tracer labs for CCNA. So I'll see you again. Thank you very much.